We are on Bikkurim, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Bet, second Mishnah in the first chapter of Bikkurim. In our last Mishnah, we learned that there are some people. We learned about what we call Hava'at Bikkurim, Mevi, and we learned about Mikra Bikkurim. And then we learned in our Mishnah that there were some people that were Mevi'in V'Korin, and some Mevi'in V'Lo Korin, and some that don't bring it all. Okay, that do the Hava'ah they bring, and the Lo Korin. Okay. And we learned that some people don't bring it on the She'ein Mevi'im. So our Mishnah is a continuation of the last Mishnah, listed a bunch of people that are not Mevi'im. Let's look at our chart. Who were they? People who are planting in their field. V'hivrich l'tosh yachid. If you don't know what this means, look at the last Mishnah. You dug a ditch and it came out in somebody else's field, etc., etc. So the Mishnah wants to know. So why don't these people bring Bikkurim? Why don't they bring the Bikkurim? If I planted from my plant and went under the ground and then went into your field, why don't I bring Bikkurim from this? Mishum shene'emar, because it says Reshit Bikurei Admatcha. Let's look back in the pasuk. It's not in this pasuk. It says Reshit Bikurei Admatcha. Let's find that pasuk. Here we are at the end of after the Ched HaEgel, bunch of mitzvot. Okay, you come to three times a year. Blah blah blah. Reshit Bikurei Admatcha tavi Beit Hashem Elokecha. The Reshit, the first fruits of Bikurei. First of the Bikurei Admatcha. We're focusing on the word Admatcha. Must be your land. So if you're growing somebody's plants your plant in somebody else's land, that's not Bikkurei Admatcha. And for this reason, now we understand the rest of the Mishnah. Ha'arisim v'ha'chakorot. Aris is a sharecropper. Okay, and back then, if you didn't own land, you could make a deal with the owner of the land, and you say, okay, I'm going to give you a certain amount of produce. And Aris was a person who gave a sharecropper for a percentage, 30%, 40%, whatever the deal was of the crop. And then they both took in the benefit and the loss, etc. Hechakorot, a choker, we've learned this before also, is a kind of sharecropper, but he admits he's giving a set amount. So he's going to give a certain amount of produce no matter whether he does well or doesn't do well. And even if he does badly, then he loses. If he does very well, then it's to his benefit. Hasakrikon. Sakrikon is a very weird word. What's a sakrikon? Look at the Bartunura. Horeg nefashot, murderer. V'noten lo akarka kedei shelo yargenu. Sakrikon is basically somebody who says, if you don't get off your land, I will kill you. Again, that was so it's interesting that this guy is a sakrikon. He's a murderous, or he's a mafia guy, or whatever. But then he wants to bring the fruits that he grew as bikurim. V'hagazlan, or somebody just stole land. The guy's land is fallow, and I just go and use it. Ein mivin mi'oto tam. They cannot bring Bikkurim for the same reason. Mishum shene'emar, Reshit Bikurei Admatcha, focusing on the word Admatcha. It has to be your land. If it's not your land, okay, then you can't bring Bikkurim, and that's not considered Bikkurim. Those are people who are Einam Mevi'im according to halacha. We'll stop here. Any comments or questions, email me at arsporto@gmail.com. We'll dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.